If you've ever felt like you were becoming someone new, but weren't quite sure who that person was yet, this show is for you. Pull up a chair, you belong here. Her work is a reflective storytelling platform that explores reinvention, burnout recovery, identity transformation, and what she calls soft success after life falls apart. Probably the biggest change for me was suddenly leaving my 30-year corporate career after a doctor helped me see that my career might be incompatible with my health. And
I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this podcast and I'm going to do it in full audio. And I've learned to love my voice. So it was like my mind was blown. I said, so this really proves that what I'm talking about is reaching people, not just here in the States, but across the world. People who, are have a different culture, a different ethnicity than myself. And it's like, I guess this is universal. So that really became real when I noticed my stats.
I love that even at our age, you can still evolve your identity and add new things to it.
I shouldn't have to stay up all hours of the night or work a full-time job and then come home and work another full-time job in order to be happy and at peace and successful. So it's like everything shouldn't be, to be successful shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't be a hustle. It shouldn't be a grind. And it's not being lazy. It's taking care of yourself. So that's where I feel, in order to be successful, you shouldn't have to grind. You shouldn't have to go through proving to others. And that's essentially what I was doing, proving that I can do it when I know I can do it. To me, it was like, if I stop, I'm going to look like a failure. And to realize it's not being a failure, it just wasn't aligned with me. It's not, I have to realize that certain things have to be aligned with your life in order to actually work better for you. And this was working totally against me. But I had to learn that life doesn't have to be chaotic. It could be peaceful. And going inward basically is doing a pulse test, as you may say. It's checking in with yourself. Natalie, how are you feeling today? I have a slight headache. Should you push yourself today or do you want to just do, enough to get by? And that's why I have to kind of sit with myself because I was always going, not paying attention to my health, not paying attention to how I felt. Well, it was once I started slowing down, I started looking at myself and saying, oh my gosh, I actually was doing this to cause this. I'm thinking, I didn't know I was the problem. And so once I sat down and started slowing down and stopped trying to do this, and this, and I had nothing but time to kind of look back at myself, that's when it was like, it clicked in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's me. Now let me go about doing this a certain way or a different way, because sometimes they don't get it. A lot of times your family does not get you. My family didn't get me. They're slowly getting me now. And what's so great is my chronicles, my newsletters have helped them to understand me better. There's no competition. There's enough room for us here, and everybody has their own. It's just understanding that we may have similar situations or similar problems, but we got to that problem, had that problem from a different atmosphere. So what I say may be totally different than what you say, but we got to the same ending. If that makes any sense. Now, when I wake up, it's silence. And it just took me one day. I was like, you know what? I didn't wake up with a lot of stuff going on in my brain this morning. And it's the weirdest thing, but and I'm like, I'm actually at peace. So it's like, it's possible, ladies. I promise you it is. Sometimes you just have to just stop and just sit back and just allow yourself to come to you. Most of the transformations happen when you do small little steps instead of one huge one. So there's a quote that I love. It's Dr. Martin Luther King who says, take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Once you do that, you rip that Band-Aid off, you take that first step blindly, and I promise you a whole new world will be in your face.
A comeback is not one big dramatic moment. It is quiet choices made every day to keep moving forward toward the life that actually fits you.